Welcome back from the break, everybody. Man in question on your screen right now, a literal god, Hex. JJoNak, the most dominant force in Overwatch.
I mean, does that just strike you as the deadliest man in all of Overwatch? Because it is. It really is right there. Sipping on the blue. I mean, they even have team-colored beverages on stage. Like, that's the coordination that gets going there. But this is it. Neko kind of looked up to JJoNak. Every Zenyatta looked up to JJoNak, our MVP from our 2018 Overwatch League season. But, oh man, those are not good numbers for Neko.
It's on an individual level, right? You know, this is a team game. There's a whole bunch of questions in terms of the support that JJoNak gets. We were highlighting that going into this match, but those are still bonkers differences. Neko's got some ground to cover if he wants to live up to his idol. A little bit of work to do there.
Well, we have one more map to do it, of course. NYXL has won the series. They are 3-0, but we have a lot of tie-breaking scenarios now that we have 20 teams in the Overwatch League, so we have to play out every map. Map differential is going to matter. I'd be stunned if stage playoffs don't come down to map differential at some point. So we gotta play it all the way out.
Yeah, 2018, we finally learned how to use an abacus.
Yeah,
it was
I didn't. I did not.
No, I didn't either.
I skipped that meeting.
It's a nice thing to say, right? Because it's really visual, right? Like we're counting points, and that's exactly what we had to do to figure out who was going to the playoffs. So guys, it's going to be more of that. We do have subs coming through here, however. So Arc making an appearance, subbing in for Animo.
This is one of the benefits of NYXL dominating their matchups is they can actually use these fourth maps, which probably not going to matter for NYXL. They're going to get to the playoffs. They're undefeated so far. They can bring in fan favorites like the man Sabiolbi.
With the hair.
Subbing in for Libero, of course. It was just not his meta. He's, of course, a god-tier Tracer player, but Tracer hasn't been played a lot. We'll see what they want to run as our next map is Dorado. I don't believe NYXL has played Dorado yet this year, so perhaps some interesting strats here, but all blue on the left side, and NYXL can afford to give a map away if they so choose, although the competitive spirit in them will not really allow it.
Absolutely not. You never give anything away for free, Hex. Even if you are messing around, I mean, it's like they're subs, right? But it's still Sabiolbi we're talking about here. It's still Arc.
Well, and Toronto's got to get their mind right, too, on Dorado. They're 0-2 on Dorado so far. It's not looked great for them, so now you have to just kind of bounce back. Yes, you lost the series, but maps are going to matter. Toronto only falls to 2-2 very much in the stage playoff picture.
So moving into it, New York as the home team will be starting off on the defense, right side of your screen, and Toronto Defiant on the offense. Hey, I mean, let's just get some Genji. Why not? All the damage.
Oh, did you bring in Sabiolbi just to play Brigitte?
No.
Bummer.
Come on. Well, we could have hoped. We can always hope. Hope springs eternal, so I hear Hex. But some Tracer play someday.
We'll see. I mean, defensively, it kind of makes a little bit of sense. It gets some time, playing time. Although, I don't think it's a team that you really need to put on stage so they can get used to it or nerves. Like, these are some of the most veteran Overwatch players in the existence of the world.
And, well, you guys got your hopes up. All for naught. There will be no flashy play here. It will be 3-3. Going right at each other.
NYXL's so savage, they're even crushing hopes of the viewers.
The community. There you go. Well, you know, as far as Arc is concerned, he will be subbing in on the Lucio. But right, we will get no Tracer play from Sabiolbi. It will be Brigitte. And it will be the Defiant making it up to the Arch. Kind of standard stuff so far, at least. Now going to be New York. Actually, kind of breaking the mold, though. They're going to go ahead and take the fight to him. Not going to let the Defiant get comfortable. Excel just going right into it. They nearly pick up a kill, but Roki is able to hang on there.
It's kind of a thing in nearly every sport that if your opponent wants to do something, don't let them.
Yeah.
Just deny whatever they want to do. Wherever they want to be, don't let them do that.
If he wants to live, do that too. Deny him that as well.
Deny him the very breath of life. First kill comes in for NYXL as they will push Toronto Defiant back to their spawn point.
See, I needed like a good deep voice though, because it would really be like the XL spirit, just like you chose to defy me, and this is what you get. So there you have it, 3-0, brutal beatdown, and Defiant looking for more. High ground challenge, not quite going to pay off, and this is going to be really tough here for the Defiant because now they got to figure out a way. How do we get this payload past the Arch, past this choke point? You're choosing one choke point for another. JJoNak is still just like scoping it out as well. He's up on his own, looking for headshots.
The rotations have been so good for NYXL. Every time Toronto's trying to push one way and then another, NYXL is just right in the correct position.
There's the grab, sees the opening, no D-Matrix to cancel it out once again. Nene trying to provide the opening here for his team. Stellar going to get overwhelmed instantly. Sound barrier just a split second too late. Counter grab gets thrown in here by the Defiant. No follow-up possible by the looks of things, but they are getting a little bit of progress on that payload.
Yeah, just the tiniest bits. Now, after all of the ultimates are used, Sound Barrier is still up for NYXL. Also have Rally, so 2 support ultimates available.
Don't do that to him, Trout.
Yakpung dies before he's able to hit the Earth Shatter. Toronto back to the drawing board with nearly 90 seconds remaining.
So, I mean, you got to give it to Nene. There was a lot of focus on Mono earlier, and obviously always on Jonak. But you know, he's not missing any grabs, Hex. No. Every time, it's just like, oh, don't even need to care about this D matrix. I'm going to put it exactly where I want it to be.
As a new addition to the roster this year, he's definitely proved his worth. Yet to see some Flower play. Bit of a pause on screen there, which means we very likely have a technical issue that we'll try to work out here. We don't really allow timeouts or pauses just for the sake of things, so something must have broken.
Scoot over, Hex, just a second. You see? Yeah. Admin right there.
Yeah.
I turned around to see who had the issue. And that's the beauty of us being out here now, Hex. We're not in that closet anymore. We're out here on the stage. I can turn around and count all the players. See who's laughing and see who's smiling. So,
yeah, last year we used to be under the bleachers, under the stadium, essentially casting from the closet. Now we're in the caster's nest. So exactly. we always say, we don't just call it the casting room. That's boring. We had caster's closet, where the teams would walk out through us.
It was cozy. It was dark.
It was.
It was dark.
I mean, like I liked it because I'm a loner, and it reminded me of my life and my introvertedness being in the closet. But you know, now we're out amongst the people here. Maybe Arc working on some technical issues so far, but I mean, just to set up where we're at in the map right now, this is not where you want to be held. It's very early on Dorado.
Yeah.
Every inch of progress counts, and they're about to get full held here with just over a minute, I believe, going. I mean, there's not a whole lot of time left for Toronto to find something here. Buck 17 on the clock as we resume.
Glad to see that Arc, you know, keeping mindful, staying hydrated. Bit stressful up on the stage. Want to make sure that you got all your fluids, your vital fluids. And well, NY, you know, once again, just giving ground. Oh, nice knock on the positioning there. An opening. Well played on Roki's part to try and start things off there for the Defiant. He nearly catches the XL out. XL, though, too quick. Able to react in time, keeping themselves alive. And Nene in the perfect position to melt this shield. Yakpung dropping so low. Somehow survives, though, with the help of his team.
Mono does go down, and that should open things up. But Desperation Self-Destruct comes up over the top. A nice block there from Yakpung. And right now, Toronto finally finds a crack in the armor here, able to push NYXL back. Ivy with a lot of charge. NYXL looks like they have designs on coming back in to stall this one out. They do.
Never say die. That's the name of the game here. Grab goes in. They are not concerned. There it is, the shatter, though. The stun perfectly timed. Well played on Stellar's part, it looked like. Managing to drop that shield in the nick of time for the bomb to go off and to keep his team in this fight. 2.5 minutes on the clock now for the Defiant to get to this payload to the second point.
Well, NYXL had a pretty good idea there that they were going to go in and either win the fight or try to drain some ultimates out of the Toronto Defiant there. But Toronto does a good job of maintaining a few. They've got 2 support ultimates in Brigida's Rally and Sound Barrier from Roki. And Neko should be able to get there as well. So NYXL really just needs to fight and force out ultimates. They should know they need to reset their economics, or their economy rather.
Always the driving force. And well, you hear it, the rallies going through here from the Brigidas. So beefing up the team, adding armor as well. Neko going to be happy for that support. He nearly got killed there, but he is able to survive a while longer. Both support ultimates online, still here for the Defiant. And now we've got the grab as well. XL though, they're getting out there. They're dropping so low, and they're going to throw in the grab regardless. Perhaps a little off on the timing there, considering they got the kill to kick things off. So perhaps maybe a moment where perhaps you're wishing you had that back.
Well, they have won most of the team fights in which Nene gets the opening kill, but I don't even know if I qualify that as a team fight, more of a skirmish. They're going to wait for Mono to get back here, see if he's got a magic shatter in his pocket. He's got 90% on that charge.
He has been doing an excellent job. Exactly, trying to position himself behind. Ivy has other ideas in mind, however. Stun is there, everything thrown in, and the quad goes off. Big boom there for the Defiant, and they will succeed in picking up the second point.
I'm trying to find the silver lining for New York in that one, but they use support ultimates to find with just a great combination. Grab, self-destruct, shatter. You expect the kills that they got to come out of that one. Looks really nice there. And after being held rather handily on the first point, they've just been rolling through second point. New York's been unable to reset ultimates.
They're looking sharp, that's for sure. Defiant now gonna go through. Perhaps that's the strategy for Excel, though. You know, they've put in some of the players. Ah, well, we'll get into that later, I'm sure, Hex, because right now it is going to be Defiant. Once again, poking. Excel giving ground, just barely. And so long as Ivy is alive, Excel have to be on their guard. Grab is about to come online, as I'm sure they're aware, and we will get the grab on the side of New York. Nene going to go ahead and throw it in. No follow-up, although it looks like Yakpun got taken for a ride there. But we did not see the Wombo combo with Mako.
They finally get a kill, and the Defiant are just going to go back and reset here with 90 seconds remaining to try to push that payload all the way to the end. NYXL has Shatter. Last Shatter got absolutely nothing. See if Mono can redeem himself that one, but Ivy with a Graviton. It'll be interesting to see if they want to hold it to try to combo with Envy self-destruct. At 64%, I mean, you'll get there before the map ends, but you want to take 2 fights or 1 is the question.
Yeah, do you want to put all your eggs in one basket as well? And he's doing a good job of getting the energy going. Thinking he's just going to wait. Self-destruct. Not quite there yet. 75% and counting here for Envy, who is doing his darndest to get it up online. And Jonak, you know, just off on his own, running his own mission. Will get some support, it looks like, from Arc. And so New York steadily giving ground, but making him fight the entire way through. Once again, a monster shatter getting thrown in by Mono. And Jonak there pounces like a leopard.
So close to being able to bring that back, but now, even if they didn't want to before, they have been patient enough, the Toronto Defiant, to have the giant combo left. This will be the last fight of the map, win or lose.
20
as
seconds.
Ominous music would imply.
And you can feel the tension mounting here for the Defiant. They hear the music too. They know what's coming. They got to get on that point. They got to stay alive this time. They have to win this fight. So out into it, Ivy. No energy on his side, so he's not going to be too happy about this. Needs to find the opportunity to start charging it up. And there's the grab, counter grab thrown in, self-destructs all over the place. The counter grab, however, does look like got eaten, and the self-destruct over the top. Envy will find success in the end.
I mean, to be the team captain for Toronto, wants to set an example for the younger players. What better example than never say die? He's brought back a couple of these fights that look darn near unwinnable. The last fight that was going to happen on Dorado. New York's gonna try to come out and stall this one out. They do just barely get there.
Arc doing the best he can. Tough target to take down efficiently, and so they're focusing on the big beefier ones. Mono with the shields, getting knocked back. Nane needs to get in here to focus. Trying to stay alive, but he's dropping so low, and without the support here to keep him alive, this is not looking hot here for New York. This is all just about trying to stall it out one at a time. And the Defiant will find a third point.
I wish I could have stalled out a little longer, because in their stall out, Savioli switched to Tracer, which would have been great to see.
That is... it's so tough, too, because we saw that stat earlier that Captain Planet put out.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, he used to be the big instigator. It's like, yeah, but he plays Brigida now.
Yeah, Captain Planet, of course, our stat guy. Whenever you see one of those really clever things on the lower third of your screen, that is Ben Troutman, a.k.a. Captain Planet. Been doing stats since before the Overwatch League existed.
He just swims along, cruises through that river of data, plucks out the relevant bits, and puts it on our screens for us. The man is a hero. Right. And, well, in this case...
So, I mean, you were talking about the substitutions they made, and I think it is really important to get these guys playing time in this kind of composition where it's so team-reliant. It's so much about, my teammate did this, now I do this, without thinking about it, without flooding the comms with it. So just knowing your timings to be in there in case someone gets sick, someone gets hurt, in case someone gets traded, who knows? I don't think the NYXL have any plans on that. And now we'll see if NYXL wants to run something a little bit different, because on offenses, you have the freedom to play around a little bit. Try an interesting composition. If it doesn't work, you can go right back to spawn and switch it up. Some teams have tried running a Pharah on this first point, for example. There's a lot of interesting stuff you can do. I would actually be kind of bummed out if NYXL just start running 3-3 here. But
yeah, because they have a chance. They could just go ahead and change it up. They've already won the series. It's just about this one map right now. And they aren't even running their main roster, and so they could always say, hey, you know, we were just experimenting, we were just trying stuff out, you know, we lost it, whatever.
NYXL,
that's not what a team that should be dominating, you know, should do in the end. And so it looks like they are going to take it seriously, at least at the start.
They led the league in 4-0s last year, though, so
yeah.
NYXL usually closes out series, but for the moment, they're going to have an Orisa and a Roadhog. And
nope, they're not, Hex. No, they're not.
Boos rain down here at the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. Boos from NYXL fans who are mad that they're going to run 3-3.
Are you going to get 3-3? That's exactly what's going to happen here. And, well, SBB getting caught out. I mean, he was looking for the recall. You know, he's looking for that button. He's like, oh, no, it's not that. Oh, I'm dead.
I love our fans. I feel like we're on the same wavelength. It's like, you won. Come on, put on a show. Be entertaining.
How dare
Not to say 3-3 is
How
not
dare
entertaining.
you, Hex?
You know.
Healing! I mean, he's doing his thing. Just chucking grenades at shields. And the XL now just kind of floating along on the payload. Doing what they can. Hoping to knock somebody out of position. It looks like they get Yakpung in the corner there, but it's not going to be enough, especially considering they've lost their Zarya. They've lost the main source of damage, although it's fun, I say that when Jonak's on the team.
Jonas.
Kind of used to saying that, you know, because other Zaryas, but Jonak is, you know, he's an exception. Let's put it that way.
Well, so far, a very good hold for Toronto here. And I think this map is important for him. I already mentioned the record on Dorado, 0-2 so far. It means I probably won't be playing a ton of Dorado throughout the rest of the stage, but it's something you still got to figure out why this is happening to you. Toronto has been very aggressive on this defense, holding right around the corner. NYXL has found no way in. Mono's got to shatter.
Yeah, and for once, he actually whiffs it just right into the shields. Thought he saw the opening. He's going to pay with his life. Rest of the Defiant collapsing on the remainder of Excelsior, and they are going to get wiped out. Relegated back to spawn.
Counter Shatter came in. Very nice from Yakpung there. Stellar also used the rally, which is a little questionable sometimes. But rally was one of those ults that gets up there because by the time they fight next, you would think, or New York could force that armor to be decayed off of them.
Well, once again, right back into it. Shields galore, all the barriers, all the grabs, and this time Roki's gonna go up in flames. Big explosion goes off though, and we will get 2 tanks knocked out of the fight here for the XL.
Last second charge on a Mono left him defenseless. He will get destructed. Still NYXL having a hard time getting around this first point.
I mean, Roki as well, he's nearly back in here. With the speed boost, he's going to be rocketing back into the fight. Sure enough, here he is. And so, back up to a full complement on the Defiant side. Need to get Ivy topped up again. Do not want him losing his energy. And so far, they're doing a fantastic job here. The Defiant, a minute left on the clock, and the XL have hardly made any progress at all.
Well, the XL needed to take this map seriously because it's the first time they've been playing Dorado. And you're going to have to play it probably again throughout this stage, and it's just looked really bad.
Could this be a case of specialists, you know, that
Maybe
they're bringing SBB and Art,
yeah.
right? Because they've only been playing Dorado, but then the rest of the roster, if they haven't been practicing, you know, is that an effective strategy?
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why you bring them in just for a specific map on the same heroes, unless they have a different strategy they just don't want to show yet. That's a very NYXL thing to do, to not give up their strategies when it doesn't really matter.
Bags of sand come to mind. Nane, though, he does see the opening here. Now is the sound barrier thrown in. Perfect timing. Although, as I say that, it's not going to be good enough. Sound barrier looked like it would be the difference maker, but it was a hair too soon. Wore off as the self-destruct went boom.
There's the horn. That's a team kill. The charge at the last second gets him out of the way, and teams have become so good at that combination. Rhines and Lucio's doing the yeoman's work of putting that shield out of position, knocking everyone down, giving all the credit to D.Va, but it's a great kill icon. Little bunny ears.
All about it. All about it. Mega looking over the top, trying to find some way to work around the shields. That's the thing, though. The Defiant, they get blown up, they lose that fight. They're still here in time, and we are in overtime for the XL, trading tanks once again to kick things off. Key thing is that the Zaryas are still in this fight, however. So the source of damage is still present for both of these rosters. Meko dropping dangerously low, though. Needs to get topped up. The good focus here from Ivy. And while this is a fight, it's a must-win for XL. They've got their backs to the wall, and that overtime wick, you saw how quick it is. If they leave that payload for a second, they're going to be done. The hold comes through for the Defiant, and they will save their honor in the end, Hex. They pick up 1 map in the series.
A small moral victory for the Toronto Defiant, who now are 2-2 in the league. pretty good standing. Still not sure where they go, but they hung with New York pretty close on a couple of those maps. Anubis was completely one-sided. Dorado, they end up picking up the win, but it's hard to really put stock on that because the NYXL are so good that they can bring in players who haven't played yet this season and just kind of give away maps. They were dominant as always. Mono, Mako, like, I don't know, pick a name out of a hat and probably an MVP candidate. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. Their wealth of talent, that's the main thing here for New York. They're just a perfect machine working together. And well, when you can just swap in all of these players, there's just everything, you know, the potential is limitless for New York. As we saw last season, going into this season, it's looking like more of the same. The one thing here, the smudge on New York Excel's reputation is the fact that they did not win the last season's trophy. London were the champs then. We're going to go ahead and hand it down to the floor. We've got an interview ready.
What is up, everybody? I am here with Animo from NYXL. Make some noise, Blizzard Arena. Animo, congratulations on the win. Now, I've actually done my research, and I found out that you currently hold the record of having the fewest death per 10 minutes. Basically, you have the best kill-to-death ratio right now. How are you actually not dying and pulling this off? 자, 쉽게 말하면 아나무 선수 지금 제가 좀 찾아보니까 아나무 선수가 지금 제일 많은 킬과 또 제일 적게 죽는 이 황금 비율을 가지고 있는 선수라고 이렇게 지금 많은 얘기가 있거든요. 어떻게 하면 좀 아나무 선수처럼 이렇게 좀 좋은 비율을 가지고 있을 수 있을까요?
일단 많이 죽어봐야 안다고 연습 때 많이 죽어서 대회 때 최대한 안 죽으려고 하는 것 같아요.
Basically, I think I have the best ratio because I have some death, and it's basically coming from experience. You have to have that death and you have to have that kills in order for you to have the best ratio. All right, cool. Next up, I've also seen on an interview by Jonak, and Jonak said, quote, "To the other teams, you can try whatever you want. We will be better at the end of the day." Animo, what do you think? Do you feel the same way? 자, 쉽게 말하면 제가 또 조낙 선수의 인터뷰를 한번 보니까 조낙 선수가 이런 말씀을 해주셨어요. 다른 팀들에게 뭐 해보고 싶으신 거 있으시면 다 해보세요. 어차피 끝에 가선 저희가 제일 잘하는 팀입니다. 라고 말을 해주셨는데 아나무 선수 어떻게 생각하세요?
일단 고츠 지금 이 조합은 저희가 최고인 것 같아요.
First of all, I think it's safe to say that for this meta, the 3-3 composition meta, we are the best. Alrighty, thank you, Animo. Give it up for Animo, everybody. That's all I have. Back to you, casters.
Thank you very much, Danny. And well, there we have it from Animo. It is certainly clear, at least now, with these dominant wins. They are very competent in this meta, but going forward, Hex, I mean, we've been talking about it all day, but you still got SBB and Pine waiting in the wings.
Flower sitting on the bench as
well. Exactly. It's like if the meta changes, New York is still going to be a real threat.
And the new players they brought in were trying to make them more meta-proof, so that they had specialists on the bench that they could call on and wait for.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and find out. You know, one of these players, I mean, he is a bit of a vet. He has been around for a while, but our player of the match presented to you by Omen by HP. None other than Mono. Love. And this meta makes sense.
He played a little bit of Hammonds, but his Rhine really stood out for me today. Of course, he's got a great Winston as well, and now these main tank players are just triple threats, but he did everything you want a Reinhardt to do. He hit enormous shatters, he blocked shatters, he was doing this small stuff like saving his teammates by charging into a charging Rhine. Everything that you want out of your Rhine play, it's Mono, and I mentioned at the top of the match, people sometimes forget when they talk about the greatest tanks in the league. Like all day yesterday, we're talking about, hey, let's talk about Fissure, let's talk about Fusions. Mono's just quietly sitting there of like, yeah, I'm still the best. You guys just forgot how good I am because I've just been this good forever. It's ridiculous. It's like, people are like, is LeBron the best basketball player ever? They're like, maybe, I don't know. But because he's been so good so long, you get used to it. You get numb. And it's not fair because Mono, I believe, is an MVP level candidate.
He, again, New York is incredible. Let's go ahead and take a look at their standings now as well. And just to get a clear idea of well, where they stand at the top of the pack, to be expected. Titans nipping at their heels.
Yeah, one more win for the NYXL and they will have locked in a stage playoff, and that's kind of what we expected. And we talk about map differentials, it's so important. You look at that's all that's separating a lot of these teams, and with only 7 games to play in each stage, every match is critical, every map win is critical, but no surprise, NYXL 5-0, a +10 map differential, and they still just decide to give away maps on occasion.
That's well, that's you know, the luxury, right, of just being so wealthy. Well, talent, skill, you name it. Go down the list. Well, guys, we have another match coming up as well. We're halfway through the day here. at Bala. We are going to be getting into the Vancouver Titans versus the Los Angeles Valiant up next. Our third match of the day here live from the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.